Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for those born in the year of the horse. I've already done your Western Zodiac readings. The link to the playlist is down below. This is a general reading, so general reading rules apply. You know, roles can be reversed if someone else turns up in your reading because the cards don't have name tags on them. Timing is far from absolute when it comes to tarot and divination. But what I would like you to do is ask a question prior to the reading. Basically, be aware of all the questions that are around you at the moment. Focus on one of them because that gives energy to the process. And if I don't give the answer to your question, then the universe will answer. I'm pointing to one of your cards here, but of course you can't see them. But it says exactly that. Always remember that Spirit is listening and will answer your prayers, whatever they may be. So general housekeeping, as well as the link to the Western Zodiac readings, there's a link to a Facebook group down there. It has its own inbox, so if you want to approach me for a personal reading, that's one of the ways you can do it. There's also a Twitter handle down there, so you can DM me. On the group you can, well, I post these videos obviously, but the astrology videos that I'm learning from, and the daily, weekly, monthly forecasts and discussions of some astrological fine point or another, the odd documentary, other readers, so yeah, come and join the fun. Now your next readings, as I said, your Western's out. Your full moon will be out later this week, not that I've done them yet. And then the day after that, moon conjuncts the galactic center under the power of the full moon. So I'm really looking forward to doing those. And then later on, Mars will conjunct with Neptune. So hopefully I'll get those readings out as well. But it's a lot of videoing. Funnily enough, while I'm talking about Chinese zodiac and Western zodiac, I have been doing some Chinese-Western combinations. So if you want to see an Aries horse, a Taurus horse, a Capricorn horse, make a comment down below in the comment section and I'll put it on my list. I've done 6 of them, 138 to go, and I don't think I've done any horse yet. Yeah. So please do comment. It's always good to get some feedback to know if I'm actually hitting or whether I'm just sat talking to a camera for no reason whatsoever other than my own entertainment. Yes, because that's why I do this. I love the sound of my own voice. Especially when I'm editing the videos afterwards and I have to hear myself. Still hate it. Right, anyway, let's bring up the cards because I think that's all my waffle. I can't think of anything else that I've got to say. But yeah, please comment, please like and subscribe while you're here, if you like the video, that is. Because I'm still a young channel and every little, that sounds awful, but every subscription helps. I'm still at that level. So, we have hexagram number 41. Mountain above lake. We have a verse from the Tao Te Ching, and these are all this is I don't know what tarot deck this is. I just call it my massive tarot, the in-between tarot, which is literally, like it says, it's the card in between each of the tarot decks. So this is the Empress to the Emperor, and then the Rider-Waite, which is a double deck because my brain does not accept reversed cards. So it's 2 decks mixed, one dignified, one reversed. And then finally the Tarot of the New Visions, clarifying everything, which is the card that is painted from the opposing point of view from the Rider-Waite, i.e. from behind. There's the 2 of Pentacles, for example. You've got a Devil card, hence there's some Demon Possessed Tarot there. I always clarify the Devil card. Now, there's a lot going on to start off with, but you're ending up in a really nice place. Now, I don't think that you're necessarily going to believe me because you're in the role of the 9 of Wands at the moment, the wounded warrior, the preparing for some threat or another, but it's almost like you are nearly there. There is growth around you, and I do believe that that is positive growth around you. So I think that Nine of Wands is almost the fact that, yeah, you're nearly there. The threat isn't there anymore, and there is going to be some insight that comes your way that changes everything at the moment. So I get the impression from this that you've had a bit of a rough time recently. We have on the bottom of the decks Five of Wands, so conflict, argumentative more than physical violence, I must admit, but you know, mental conflict, if not actual arguments with another person. The Hierophant, so have you been banging heads with tradition, or have you been seeking what is the more spiritual path forward? Because I do feel with this Strength to Hermit card, it's talking about going on the journey to discover your inner voice, your inner guide, or your inner voice, however you want to say to it, your link with your divine self, your higher self, God, however you want to look at it. Now, that's been a balancing act for you, because I think there may have been things going on in the outside world, because I'm really attracted to these sheep here. I think may have been things going on in the outside world which has been making it very difficult for you to harmonize a wonderful inner life with a not so fantastic external life or external world. You may be worrying a bit too much about the backdrop to your life, because what this card here is saying, the Great Gratitude card, is you have a lot to be grateful for. So the fact is, you're alive. You know, and anything else is a bonus. So if you've got food, if you've got roof over your head, if you have friends, if you've got enough technical equipment to watch my videos on YouTube, you have a lot to be grateful for. So don't focus on those things that you don't feel any gratitude for. Focus on those little things. Bear in mind, that's a prime law of attraction technique. You know, as much as I hate the phrase attitude of gratitude, you know, and I really hate that phrase, but what it's saying is right. If you take the pleasure in the things that you have and the things that you can do, because what hexagram number 41, I've forgotten the Chinese name for it now, bear with me. Oh, it doesn't even tell me in this book. What this talks about, mountain above lake, the lake evaporates and scatters its vapour upwards, which comes down as rain on the mountain, feeds the mountain, and then the mountain then goes back and feeds the lake. So it's about making a small sacrifice for something or someone that you love, which is going to work out well, because I want to point out here, you have got a lot of good cards in towards the end of the reading. It's almost like you've felt like you can't level up, that you know, you're searching for your own inner light, your own inner guidance, your own sense of what is right and wrong with this Hierophant card here. But as much as you're searching, it's not happening. I would say maybe you're searching too hard. Relax, let go and let be. Yes, you've had to balance the demands of the outside world with what it is that you're trying to achieve. But I think what you're trying to achieve, you know, if it's a spiritual thing or even if it's a more down-to-earth thing, whatever you're trying to achieve, it's going to change slightly, I think is the best way to put it. You're going to have some insight. So we have the High Priestess here, clarified by death. Some insight, some marrying of polarities, maybe. But I really do get the sense of insight, and this to me looks very much like Isis in this deck. And it's almost like Isis was responsible for the gathering and later resurrection of her lover Osiris, husband Osiris. So I feel like there's some insight that comes in, some magic that comes in. This might be a Pisces influence, by the way, but that just, it's like it flicks a switch within you. And then these old rules and traditions that you've been binding yourself with, because yeah, I am getting that now, because looking at, there's a Hierophant just there by the death card, on the death card even. It's as if you're offering them and going, yeah, no more, because there's more important things to do. Because it is important that you remember that Spirit always will answer your prayers, to a certain extent, positive and negative. So that's why, you know, that's law of attraction basics as well. You know, you will attract to you what you are creating, manifesting, wishing for, feeling. So yes, we have a consensus reality to deal with, and the consensus reality right now is pretty dire. So you need to focus more on your personal reality and see where the joy is, and that joy will give you that gratitude, which will open the door for Spirit to bring the energies in to make things better for you. Basically, whatever that means, in whatever your question was, whatever the situation was, it will make things better for you. Because we're going on from the High Priestess to the King of Wands. Whereas you felt disempowered beforehand with this mental conflict that was going on, or these arguments that were going on, you are now put into a position where you can create what you want. You are allowed to take action, but there's a warning here that it has to be fair action, and also it has to be... Now, normally I think that these are two people tending a baby on the bottom of this card, but I'm suddenly reminded of the two mothers that went before Solomon arguing over whose baby it was. You are needing to be fair and ignore the petty squabbles of others, whereas this Page of Pentacles wasn't ignoring them. He's keeping his eye on the sheep at the same time. But you've had news that comes in that makes you go, hang on a minute, why is this relevant? Because you can marry the different polarities that are going on in your life. This is what the Empress and the Emperor say. So the High Priestess defines that there is the two polarities. There is, like, normally there's twin towers on the High Priestess card, or twin pillars, sorry, twin pillars, and these two polarities that you are quite familiar with by now, you're suddenly given a new viewpoint on them, and you go, okay, right, I can see what I'm doing. And you manage to marry them somehow. So all these other people's arguments are irrelevant. And I almost feel that because of this conflict and because of this argument going on behind your back, there is a point where you will turn around and go, look, have it. You know, or have this, have it, whatever. Because that's that sacrifice that you're being asked to make. Because you are being asked to mend bridges. This is what you're going through a time of it. And mending those bridges, we've got 10 of Pentacles here, which means you are building a firm foundation as you mend those bridges, and that will bring in a form of wish fulfillment. Now, it's a wish fulfillment for you, and mainly you. I don't see that this arguing couple are getting much out of this wish fulfillment. You can then share this wish fulfillment with them if you so wish. But we have the Star clarified by the 9 of Pentacles. So again, this rebirth, a material rebirth, a real world rebirth. So new job, new relationship, new house, new hobby, even new passion. But one that's more spiritually inspired, and one where it's one where it is safely bordered, but you are not hemmed in. Because I thought at first that's a wall, but it's not. It's a hill, because you can see the city beyond it. And she's about to exit through a gate here, through a fence. So what you have created is protected. It has, you know, a fence around it, but you are not trapped by that. So we've got the star here to the star here, which indicate, there's someone in the background of that star, also rather indicates that you're focused on what it is that you are doing. So you can let the others get on with what you want, whatever they want to, because we've got 10 of Cups to the Ace of Cups. Now, I read that as in, this wish fulfillment is a form of love coming in. 10 of Cups is obviously better than wish fulfillment, but it's almost like this wish fulfillment opens the door for greater love. Let's see what the book says. 10 to the Ace, a promise of a fresh start. Yeah. But I'm really drawn to that reflection in the water of the sun. It's like your emotions are all at once becoming calmer, but heating up at the same time. They are offering you a portal, really, to somewhere new. Now, at the very end, while you're building this, there is a slight trap at the end. So I think that you are being told to focus on the good and build what you can and mend the bridges now. You know, go out of your way to mend bridges, make that small sacrifice, whatever it is, feel the gratitude, open the doors for your prayers to be answered. Because at the very end here, we've got 7 of Wands, so feeling defensive, feeling just a little bit, I have to stand up to this. And this is why I'm interested that now I make sense of why that 9 of Pentacles was saying that this wish fulfillment, which is yours, is safely fenced in. It's not going to be affected by whatever it is that you're having to stand up to. But also, I have to ask if it's worth standing up. I mean, if it is, it is. The Hierophant at the bottom of the deck again is saying, do what feels spiritually right for you. So if it's worth standing up for it, do it. But if not, make sure you are not being bound to that position, because the way you are viewing things is going to change quite dramatically. That doesn't mean that it can't change again later. And you can be fighting against tradition here, so why are you going with it here? You know, do be examining all the various attitudes that have come up in this fight. But now one way of say this is a relationship reading, feeling defensive ties you into a position causing you anxiety. The anxiety is causing you to feel defensive. The defensiveness makes you feel more anxious, and that is something that will disrupt a good love offer around you. Beleth with the Knight of Cups here. Beleth causes all the love that may be, both of men and of women. But that 8 of Swords is telling me you have a chance for a little oasis of emotional contentment. Absorb it, use it, revel in it. Great gratitude. Because there is a trap at the end of it that you might suddenly feel, I have to defend. No, you don't. Because what you're building, what you have built, is safe. It is perfectly safe. Now, if there's something that you have to defend, fine. But just make sure you don't get tied to that. Because that will stand in the way of love. Even if if it's something that you feel is spiritually right and you've got to go for, control your emotions in the process, and you may find something that you love within that. So that was interesting, horse. Oh, the verse from the Tao Te Ching. Verse 45, again, goes to a 9, rebirth. Purity and stillness. Great achievement seems imperfect, yet its usefulness is not diminished. Great fullness seems empty, yet it is inexhaustible. Great frankness seems to succumb. Great discussion seems silent. Activity overcomes coldness. Stillness overcomes heat. Purity and stillness are ideal for the world. Now with that 9 of Pentacles, there is that element of remaining where you are, remaining in your garden. But remember here, she's ready to venture out. She is holding open a gate, and she may well step through it. If she does, she does. She doesn't have to. And I think you will be stepping through it. But take this moment of purity and stillness. And whatever you are called to defend, if it's worth it, it won't affect what you have built, assuming that you have built using that moment of purity and stillness. If it is not worth it, it's not worth being tied to it. Okay, so if that means anything to your horse, comment down below. Bear in mind, comment if you also want a horse and Pisces, Aries, Capricorn, whatever, in the comments down below. Please press the like and subscribe buttons on your way down there. Your next readings, as I said, full moon, lunar galactic download, and then Mars conjunct Neptune, hopefully. All right? Cheers.